Hello and welcome to Board Game Gumbo. Today we're taking a look at Duel of Wands from Renegade Games. This is a 2-player only card dueling game that plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. So this is almost like an RPG supplemental item because it was made specifically for the Kids on Brooms RPG game by Renegade. Renegade does 2 games like this. They have Kids on Brooms, which kind of has like a Harry Potter feel, and then they have Kids on Bikes, which is like Stranger Things. So this game, Duel of Wands, can actually be played within the RPG universe of Kids on Brooms, which I think is kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside and how the game plays. All right, so here is our rule book. As you'd expect from a fairly small box game, the rule book is pretty straightforward. Essentially, each player is going to have a deck of cards, either the orange or the blue. They'll have some upgraded spells that they can sort of customize their deck with. And then they're going to take one action on their turn, either casting a spell or discarding a spell. Regardless of what you do, you're going to lose a spell from your hand each turn. And those spells are going to affect your opponent. The win condition is either if you make your opponent discard their Psyche card, or if you cannot draw up to 4 cards at the end of your turn, which is your hand size, then you will immediately lose. And you're going to do that until somebody has won 2 rounds. So you're going to play multiple times. Little advertisement here. And then the rest of our game is just going to be this deck of cards here. So let's take a look at them. So just a little reference card of, I guess this is what all the cards in a spell deck. And this is because you are going to be customizing the deck every round you play. So it's just sort of a reset card. So there are 2 decks, 1 yellow deck and 1 blue deck. They are exactly the same, it looks like. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the cards. So if you play Annihilate, you're going to banish a card from your opponent's cast spells pile. So whenever you cast a spell, it'll go into basically a discard, which is your cast spells pile. But you also have a banish pile, which is much more difficult to recover. But you also have a banish pile, which is cards you cannot ever recover. So annihilating a spell means that your opponent won't have it again in that round. Break, choose 2 spells from their hand and place them face down on the table, and then you're going to randomly banish 1. So your Psyche card is basically what you're trying to get rid of for your opponent. And then you have Recover. Recover cards are essentially how you get your cast spells back into your hand. So again, 1 deck per player. And then we have some upgraded cards. So these are upgrades to the spells we just looked at. And when you're playing a full game, they kind of have a starter game that doesn't use these, and then a full game. You're going to get to choose 2 of these upgrades to include into your deck secretly. So your opponent won't know which 2 of your spells have been upgraded. But you can include 2 of these. And then there are, I believe, 7 unique spells. And these are all completely different. And these you'll deal out at the beginning of the game. You'll deal 2 to each player randomly, and they will include them in their deck. And obviously your opponent won't know which ones you have until you play them. And that's it. That's everything you get in Duel of Wands by Renegade Games.